Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is going to be another Pride reading vlog. This time I am at the beach. Not Cannon Beach this year. This year it's Rockaway Beach and we're no longer going to our Christian Conference Center. Ooh, there's a flippy hair back there. It's just flipping. And my hair feels a little precarious. But yeah, this is one braid coming from each side. This is not one long braid wrapped around because my hair is not that long. What I'm currently reading, I'm reading Under the Udala Trees, which is one of the group reads for the Queer Lit Readathon. So I appreciate that because I would not have heard of this book otherwise. I'm reading it on audio, so I listened to a lot of it on the trip over, so that was nice. So I've got like 1.5 hours out of 12 left. So it is about a gay Nigerian girl. It starts when she's about 8 years old, and the Nigerian Civil War is happening, and her father dies, and her mother sends her away to be a house girl. Her mother's not handling things well and kind of doesn't want to be around her daughter. So a house girl basically gets room and board in exchange for doing all the household chores. So she is a house girl for a grammar school teacher and his wife. Also, I'm talking a little quietly because the walls in this vacation rental are super thin. So yeah, she's there for a while and she meets a girl and she falls in love with the girl. She's at that place from when she's like 11 to 14, I think. And then after that, when they get discovered, she goes away to live with her mom again. And then she goes to a school. This girl who she met also goes there because it's it's also part of the deal was that he would send his house girls to school, pay for them to go to school, and this is the one he can afford to send them to. And this other girl worked as a house girl for them as well. So they both go to this school and they meet a few times, but things are pretty hard because they've both had Bible studies after they were discovered, the entire focus was making them feel like being gay is horrible. And I think that the book does a really good job of like examining that even if you believe the Bible, like there are so many other ways to interpret that. The passages that the mother brings up to say that being gay is bad, there are so many other ways to interpret those passages, and the homophobic way isn't even the most obvious way in a lot of cases. So I really liked how that was done, but it does really affect her, and it affects both of them because of course it does. So yeah, things have gone on from there, and now she's an adult and is making various decisions that are maybe not the best decisions, but are informed by a lot of that trauma. And yeah, I will avoid spoilers, but I'm hoping for a happy ending based on the description of the book. But yeah, I think it's really well done. I'm also have started reading physically the Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School, which I bought a little while ago during the Trans Rights Readathon. And this is about Yamilet Flores, who's 16 years old and was outed by her best friend who she had a crush on and told that she liked her. She got rejected pretty hardcore, and then this former friend outed her to her friends at that school, and so now for a couple reasons she's going to a different school, a Catholic school, and it's going to be about her experiences there, so should be very interesting. Has maybe found a friend, so that would be nice, but she is also not out to her mom and is very afraid that she might even get kicked out if her mom finds out, so she's trying to keep everything very much on the down low at this new school. So she also has a brother who is highly favored by their mother. Fortunately, he's not a jerk. He's actually pretty sweet and I really like him, so I'm enjoying that part too. So this year my family went to Rockaway Beach, which is on the Oregon coast. It is about halfway between Cannon Beach and Tillamook, if you've heard of either of those. This is the Tillamook where the cheese is created that I believe is shipped nationwide. There is a cheese factory there, which is very fun if you've never been. Very interesting, but I have been, so we didn't go again this year. We spent some time on the beach, so you'll see footage of that. I don't actually remember what else I filmed, but there should be a montage of fun things going on now. Enjoy. It's Wednesday. I thought I should come on here and talk to you before I lose the light. Where will it not reflect in my glasses? Everywhere it reflects in my glasses. I got my Invisible Disability Club shirt on, and I have coordinating earrings that I crocheted to be like starfish. And it's Juneteenth today, which if you don't know is when news of emancipation came to the last enslaved people in Texas, about 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. And it is a day to celebrate that while also mourning that slavery was and is a thing, and to and a lot of people also use it to raise awareness of current injustices and current slavery in the form of the prison industrial complex, and to raise support for individual Black people, mainly in the US, who are in need of support. And it's also used as a day to uplift Black people around the world. I'm in a super cute little alcove right now. I've got that above me, and I've got lamps on either side. And yeah, this is where my bed is. Yesterday I finished Under the Udala Trees, and it was really good. Yeah, I pretty much explained it in the last clip about that book, but I just, now that I finished it, I wanted to give my rating, which is 4.5 stars. It was really good. Not my usual genre, as it is a historical fiction. Enjoyed a fair amount of it, but it was more about education, despite being a fiction book, than enjoyment particularly. And then I am still reading The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School. I've gotten a little bit farther in it. It's by Sonora Reyes. I am now on page 64. And I still really like Cesar, our main character's brother. And I have also continued reading Shut Up You're Pretty, which is by a Congolese Canadian author. It is called a work of short stories, but it's really a set of chapters all following the same person that are in order. They are a little bit more encapsulated stories in each chapter, so it's kind of like episodic, but I would say it's more of a single narrative than individual short stories. And our main character, I have heard, is also queer, and I've seen a little bit of that. It's very heavy, so I don't want to read it all at once, even though it's only like 135 pages. But so far it's been about her childhood, and there's been a lot of essay of children involved. So yeah, it's been a bit hard to read. We will see how the rest of that goes. It's Saturday and we're home now, and I was checking before we go up to Spokane to my uncle's birthday party if there were any of the books that I currently had checked out that needed to go back to the library, and this one did. It's called Franklin's Flying Bookshop by Jen Campbell, and Jen Campbell is a booktuber who is disabled. I don't remember what she has exactly, but she has lots of recommendations for disabled books on her channel. She's not as active anymore, but I really appreciate those recommendations, and she does some discussion videos on disfigurement in fantasy. This is illustrated by Katie Harnett, and most of Jen Campbell's books are only published in the UK because that's where she's from. But this one is also published here, so I got it from my library, and it is a picture book about Franklin the Dragon and how he loves books and all the wonderful imaginative places he gets to go in his books, and about how he likes to share his books. He likes to share them with all the animals that are his friends, but he'd also like to share them with some humans, but the humans are all scared of him, except this one little girl. So she also likes reading, and so she and Franklin hatch a plan to share their love of reading with the humans in the local village, and it's really sweet and cute. 5 stars. Also, I realized that 2 of the books that I've talked about this week, I'm not going to be able to finish this week. Shut Up, You're Pretty and The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School are both going to take a little longer. I've mostly been reading audiobooks, so after I finished Under the Udala Trees, I started Dead Girls Walking, which is another book that is about queer black girls. It's about a camp where queer black girls are invited. It is a horror book, and our main character, her dad was a serial killer and he went to jail, but he gave her a quest to go and find out what's going on in this forest and to find her mother's body, and we don't know why he's given her this quest, and we don't really understand why she's decided to go with it, except that he's the only real parent she's got left, even though she's been taken in by her auntie. Her auntie's not really, she's not close with her auntie at all, so she's also been trained all her life how to keep herself safe from the whatever it is that's going on in the forest and in the haunted house that she grew up in. And so when she gets to this camp that she goes to so that she has the right to be on the property where she thinks her mom is buried, girls start disappearing, and they start finding bodies. And yeah, I'm most of the way through it right now, and it's been relatively gory. Not as gory as some things. I would say a 3 out of 5 on the gore. I'm not like super familiar with horror tropes, only a few of them, but it's like got some interesting things that I personally haven't read in horror before. I've read like 5 whole horror books, so you know, I really know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think it's pretty good, and it is definitely creeping me out. I have a hard time listening to it when I'm alone. I prefer to listen to it like when I'm in the car with other people, but I've also been listening to it while I play video games. Should be able to finish that one by the end of this vlog and give you a rating. Hi there, it's Sunday and I'm wrapping up the vlog. I did finish Dead Girls Walking. I thought it was really good. I liked the ending. I liked the character growth of the main character, and I liked that the villains were not mentally ill or disabled or disfigured or any of those ableist tropes. So good. 4.5 stars. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Should just be the one more vlog, and then we'll be in July. By the way, if you haven't heard of the Fuckathon, this is created by Noria Reads, and is all about reading stuff that is like anti things, like fuck the police, fuck the, I don't actually remember any of the other ones, but it's all like interesting stuff, and like there are a bunch of great recommendation videos for books on those topics. Fuck the Rich is another one. It can be fiction as well as non-fiction. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and there might be something else going on in July too. I'll try to put that in the description. And there should be content warnings for all the books I've mentioned in this video at the very bottom of the description. And I think that's all. Bye!